Two different catfish species, usually competitors with similar diets, have been observed pack hunting mormurid fish together. Both species normally eat similar foods, so the shared target is a common resource rather than a separate one. Their ranges overlap across southern African swamps and floodplains. The blunt-toothed African catfish and African sharp-toothed catfish also share similar breeding habits and food. The blunt-toothed species can reach 73 centimeters and lives in swampy floodplain water. In Botswana's Okavango Delta, observations show both species hunting mormurids together. The fish pursue the same prey. Mormurids are the fish named as prey in these observations. The observation does not identify a leader, formation, or signal. It confirms they hunt together without proving human-like planning. In the months before spawning season, these fish build energy reserves. The shared hunts occur during that seasonal reserve-building period before spawning season starts. One partner also has an unusual backup. The blunt-toothed African catfish can breathe air and survive out of water for extended periods. Glasgow's lone Argyll Street ash has kept more than 75% of its canopy despite ash dieback affecting many ash trees across the UK. That makes this solitary street tree an unexpected survivor. Its leaves still form a broad green crown above the pavement. It stands outside Franklin Terrace in Finnieston, and it is the only tree on Argyll Street. The nearest neighboring ash is more than 100 meters away. Ash dieback is caused by the fungus Hymenopsiphus fraxineus, which can spread through infected fallen leaves. In this paved setting, street sweeping frequently removes that litter before it can help restart infection. The urban surroundings may add another barrier. Nearby buildings provide heat, while paved surfaces can reduce humidity around the tree. Those conditions may limit the fungus's impact, but they do not prove why this ash has fared better. For now, the tree remains a living marker of how city conditions can change disease exposure. It is also Glasgow's first tree protected by a tree preservation order. Agate, the familiar banded gemstone, has been found on every continent, including Antarctica, linking volcanic landscapes with one of Earth's coldest environments. It is a banded variety of fibrous chalcedony, a microscopic form of silica. The material commonly forms rounded nodules, and some specimens hold a quartz crystal core or a hollow center. Their patterns are visible after polishing. Most agates begin inside volcanic rock. As lava cools, trapped gas leaves cavities. Later, hot, silica-rich water can seep through the rock and fill those spaces. Inside, silica crystallizes in successive layers. Iron oxides often supply red and yellow colors. Different mineral deposits accumulate over time, producing alternating bands and sometimes crystals toward the center. The detailed cause of the banding remains debated and has not been successfully reproduced synthetically. That uncertainty does not erase the pattern's evidence. A cavity was filled repeatedly, layer after layer, until a solid nodule formed. A cut surface records that mineral history as visible rings to the eye. Anne was the United Kingdom's last circus elephant, and she has not interacted with another elephant since 2001. Today, she lives at Longleat Safari and Adventure Park. Anne is an Asian elephant from Sri Lanka believed to have been born in the early 1950s. Around 1956, she was transported to England as a calf. She then traveled with the Bobby Roberts Super Circus as a performer. In April 2011, Anne moved to Longleat Safari and Adventure Park. Her enclosure includes a 1,996 square meter heated indoor area, plus outdoor space with a sand pit and pool. Visitors can drive close to her there. Under her caretakers, Anne's overall health improved. Arthritis and unnatural sleep patterns remained, so better health did not mean every physical problem disappeared. In 2014, experts judged Anne unsuitable for interaction with other elephants because severe arthritis could make contact risky. Her care could improve her condition, but it could not make elephant contact safe. A mountain degu family does not all crowd into a dust bath at once. These Andean rodents take turns using the same spot, a small social detail hidden in a dry, rocky landscape. The mountain degu, Octodontomys glieroides, lives in the foothills of the Andes in Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile. Its long gray-brown fur, large ears, and pale underside suit a life among dry rocks and shrubs. Mountain degus live in family units of 2 to 4 that share a burrow system. They play together and communicate with gurgles, twitters, and squeaks, although they are less social than common degus. Their shelters are often caves and spaces under rocks because their claws are not specially built for digging. At night they feed on grasses, leaves, bark, and cacti in the dry landscape around them. Cactus tissue also supplies much of the water they need. Back at the dust bath patch, each family member takes a turn, linking a simple routine to a shared life in the Andes. Along New Zealand's coast, Opifex fuscus mosquito larvae live in rock pools reaching about 9% salinity, roughly 2.6 times seawater. They are endemic to New Zealand. These pools sit above the high tide line where evaporation removes water and concentrates salt. Rain and sea spray refresh them unevenly. A pool can swing between dilution and concentration rather than holding one fixed salt level. The larvae's cuticle, their outer covering, has much lower permeability than freshwater mosquitoes. That may limit salt and water movement across their bodies. This is a physical barrier, not proof that salinity alone determines survival. In laboratory tests, some late-stage larvae survived stepwise increases to 7% salinity. Occasional individuals reached 10.5% while development stopped around 13%. For comparison, normal seawater is about 3.5%. In the pools, larvae feed on algae and decomposing matter. Adults leave that nursery behind and feed on blood. Their feeding supports life within these temporary coastal habitats. A 1987 recording reportedly captured Ripper, an Australian musk duck, apparently saying, "You bloody fool." That is a startling claim from a bird better known for diving than talking. Ripper was a musk duck at Tidbinbilla Nature Reserve in the Australian Capital Territory. Musk ducks are highly aquatic, rarely leaving the water, and can remain submerged for about a minute. It slips underwater headfirst, often resurfacing only briefly. That phrase differs sharply from the male's normal breeding display: a splash, calls, a whistle, and a deep grunt. Males can repeat this sequence every 4 or 5 seconds for up to half an hour. Those sounds are courtship advertising, not described speech. The tape was not newly recorded. It was made in 1987, then rediscovered with reports circulating in September 2021. Decades separated the recording from the reports that announced its rediscovery. So Ripper's "You bloody fool" remains a report of apparent mimicry, not proof that a musk duck used human-like language. It establishes an unusual recording while leaving the origin of the resemblance unresolved. New Zealand is pursuing dark sky certification for the entire country, not only to reveal more stars but also to reduce artificial light risks for nocturnal wildlife. Certification means managing artificial light across a landscape, not simply switching off lamps. The movement builds on Yoraki Mackenzie, New Zealand's first certified dark sky place recognized in 2012. Its wider ambition is a dark sky nation. For birds, the problem appears at ground level. Hutton's shearwaters fly to and from breeding colonies in darkness, but bright lights in Kaikoura can disorient them. Some are drawn toward illuminated streets instead of continuing through the dark landscape. Over 2 nights in 2015, 200 birds were found crash-landed in Kaikoura. It made lighting a visible hazard. Seabirds moving through darkness can end up on town streets. Kaikoura modified its street lighting and became a dark sky sanctuary in 2024. Proposed replacements use fully shielded luminaires, directing light downward, with color temperatures of 2200 or 2700 Kelvin. The aim is a darker sky and fewer disorienting lights at bird level.